Human trafficking, that heinous crime involving the exploitation and forced movement of individuals, is a grave violation of human rights that affects millions of people worldwide. Unfortunately, amidst the seriousness of this issue, several myths and misconceptions have arisen, obscuring the true nature and complexity of human trafficking. Today, we explore 10 common myths about human trafficking, revealing the actual reality behind this illicit trade and the urgent need for awareness and action. Myth 1: Human trafficking involves only physical abduction. One prevailing myth suggests that human trafficking involves only physical abduction. In reality, trafficking can involve deception, coercion, and recruitment through manipulation, leaving victims trapped in exploitative situations. Myth 2: Human trafficking is only about sex work. The belief that human trafficking is solely about sex work overlooks other forms of exploitation, such as forced labor, domestic servitude, and organ trafficking. Myth 3: Human trafficking is a problem only in developing countries. The misconception that human trafficking is only a problem in developing countries neglects its occurrence in both developed and developing nations, as it transcends geographical boundaries. Myth 4: Human trafficking victims are always foreigners. The myth that human trafficking victims are always foreigners disregards the fact that trafficking can involve both domestic and cross-border victims. Myth 5: Only women and girls are trafficked. The common belief that only women and girls are trafficked overlooks the victimization of men and boys, who also suffer from various forms of exploitation. Myth 6: Victims of human trafficking will seek help if they want to escape. The misconception that victims of human trafficking will seek help if they want to escape disregards the fear, manipulation, and psychological control traffickers use to keep victims silent and compliant. Myth 7: Human trafficking is a one-time event. The myth that human trafficking is a one-time event neglects its cyclical nature, where victims may be trafficked multiple times or experience re-trafficking. Myth 8: Human trafficking is a victimless crime. The belief that human trafficking is a victimless crime dismisses the immense suffering, trauma, and long-term consequences experienced by trafficking survivors. Myth 9: Human trafficking is easy to identify. The common misconception that human trafficking is easy to identify overlooks its hidden nature, requiring specialized training for law enforcement and frontline professionals. Myth 10: Human trafficking is unsolvable. The myth that human trafficking is unsolvable disregards the potential for collaborative efforts, public awareness, and strong anti-trafficking laws to combat this crime effectively. As we shed light on these 10 myths about human trafficking, we acknowledge the urgency of addressing this abhorrent crime and protecting the rights and dignity of its victims. Human trafficking is a dark reality that affects individuals of all genders, ages, and backgrounds, transcending borders and societies. The actual reality is that human trafficking requires collective action, awareness, and cooperation among governments, law enforcement, NGOs, and communities to prevent and combat it effectively. By dispelling myths and understanding the true nature of human trafficking, we can work together to create a safer world and offer support and empowerment to survivors. Through education, advocacy, and enforcement, we must stand united against human trafficking, ensuring that justice is served to the perpetrators and that survivors find the path to healing and recovery.